What's up, guys? Welcome to the ROK Weekly Music Review. This is a weekly show that I use to recap the last week in Korean music that I, talked about, that I experienced. We're going to talk a little bit about some news. We're going to talk a little bit about the songs that were released in the last week. We're going to highlight some comments that I got on some of my videos. And we're just gonna talk about that, and we're gonna introduce a brand new segment too that I will bring out every once in a while. So before we get started into the first segment, I just want to say that I am broadcasting this this recording session here live on to my Twitter. I got my phone right here. I'm pointing at the people or the person, whoever is watching me live on Twitter right now. So if you want to get involved in this every single week that I record this, usually Sundays at around 5 p.m. Eastern time, then give me a follow on Twitter. That way you can just, of course, tune into the live stream when I go live, and you can, participate in the chat when we open it up, or just in general look over and see if there's anybody who's leaving comments and stuff like that. So we want to get people, the audience and the crowd involved in the show. So we are going to do that. So let's get it started with the first segment of the week, which is a little bit of news, and I think I'm going to do a full-length, actual fully detailed video on this, standalone, in a couple of days. But I just wanted to talk about this really, really briefly, and that is the fact that the girl group MIXX, who debuted sometime, I think towards the end of last year with the song "Oh My Mind," they made their comeback January 5th or January 4th or something like that with the song "Love is a Sudden ... They have, I've heard that they have disbanded, and the Chinese members have gone back to China. Basically, they've disbanded because of the K-pop ban that China has imposed, that China has imposed as a response to the deployment of the missile defense system called THAAD in South Korea. So that just kind of opens up a really interesting thing, or thought in my mind as to what the future of other K-pop idols of actual Chinese nationality in K-pop, what is that going to mean for them? Naturally, a K-pop ban in China doesn't have any effect on the people who do not reside in China consuming K-pop or just in general participating in that scene, but obviously it seems to have affected one group, or allegedly, as far as we know. So it's a very, very interesting, kind of thing, and it opens up, I guess, some concerning prospects and some concern as to, what could happen to some of the other groups in K-pop, because, there are plenty of groups in this genre of music who are, multinational, mostly Asian, Chinese, Japanese, whatever, you know how it goes. So it's a very interesting kind of prospect to just kind of see how that goes. So I don't know, we'll talk about that in more depth and detail probably in a standalone video, but I just wanted to bring it up really quickly in this setting, just because, I want to open it up potentially to people who are on Twitter following me, tuning into the live chat, but there doesn't seem to be anybody who wants to be participating in the chat. Also, there's only, as far as I know, one person watching, so that's cool. It's perfectly fine with me. You are not required to do that. So moving on to the next segment, which is going to be called which is the comment spotlight, and that is going to directly tie into the next segment that I do. But the reason that we're doing this comment spotlight is really just to kind of talk and discuss about one thing that I found kind of amusing, a comment that somebody left that I found kind of amusing, and that was somebody who left a comment. This was actually a while back, in all honesty, but it was just too good to not share, I think. So I got a comment from somebody on my Lovely's music video reaction who had said who just wanted to let me know that they thought that my reaction video was bad and that they were going to unsubscribe from my channel. And so, of course, naturally, because I want to know why people don't like my videos, and I mean, the person took the time to say, hey, I was a subscriber, I thought this reaction video was bad, and so now I'm choosing not to follow you anymore. So I was like, could you tell me what I could have done better to, make this video good? And, of course, I kind of left in the thing because I kind of figured in the back of my mind, if the reason why this music video is bad is because of you don't agree with my opinion, then that's cool. I can't change that. But if it wasn't because of that, could you tell me, what the reason is? And, well, their comment back was like, I don't know, man, you can figure it out for yourself. And all of my friends who don't even like K-pop thought that this song was, catchy and fun. And that it basically just came down to the fact that they're unsubscribing from my channel or they're saying that they're unsubscribing from my channel because they didn't like my opinion to a song that they actually liked. So that's cool and that's interesting. And it made me think and it made me wonder. It was like, I was surprised because like, all of my videos for like the entire history of my YouTube channel here have been, really like straight and brutally honest with what I think. Like I don't really hold anything back, or I mean I do more now than I used to, but I'm like super straight with, what I think about a song. Like if I don't like it, I'm gonna tell you I don't like it. I'm gonna tell you why I don't like it, and the people who are subscribed to my channel now and the people who, have watched me for a long time know that. So either this person is a new subscriber to my channel or they really only subscribe for my Lovely's reactions, which then of course they would only get good stuff because I've said that I liked, Lovely's music, every other release that they put out up until this one. Which even then I didn't really say that I didn't like it. I just said it wasn't their best song. So I don't know what they're talking about. But it's just kind of interesting that, somebody who had subscribed to my channel, said that my video was bad, and it wasn't because the quality of the video or the structure or I had made a mistake in the video or anything like that. There wasn't anything, technically wrong with my video. There wasn't anything factually wrong with my video. There wasn't anything that I could actually improve other than having a favorable opinion or an opinion that was in agreement with this person's. So I can't change my opinions, and I will not change my opinions, of course, to be good, to be positive all the time, because it's just not my style, obviously. So, I'm going to, like I said, if I don't think that the Lovely song is the best Lovely song ever, I'm going to say that it's not, and sorry that you disagree with that, but you subscribe to my channel, you should know that, I'm going to be completely real with what I think about a song. So that's a thing that was interesting to me, and that whole exchange, it was just really, really weird because I've never had anybody who was openly a subscriber say that they're going to unsubscribe from my channel because they didn't agree with one of my opinions, which is probably what happens all the time. But people just quietly unsubscribe, which is like, I would much rather, I would appreciate that. And honestly, if you tell me you unsubscribe because you don't agree with what I say, in my opinion, you look a little silly, in all honesty. And it's being brutally honest, I think, is like, if you're gonna subscribe to my channel and then unsubscribe because at one point, you watch a reaction video that I do for your favorite group and you don't agree with what I say, and so that upsets you, and then you decide that you are going to unsubscribe now, then like, that's cool, right? But if you tell me that that's the reason, then I'm gonna laugh at you. Not directly, because I can't through the internet, but in my mind, as I read your comment, sitting right here in this chair, I will laugh. I guarantee it. So that, like I said, kind of leads directly into the next segment, the brand new segment that we're going to do, by the way, which I'm going to call community building. We might do this weekly. We might do this whenever I feel that it is necessary. But these are community building exercises. Kind of like when you go on a, on a company, like, I don't know, field trip or whatever, you go out, you do or I guess I don't know exactly what you would call it, because whatever field trip is wrong. But, you go out, you get together, you do all this stuff, and you have like team building exercises, to like strengthen the bonds between the employees, and just like, doing, trust falls and all this kind of stuff. So we're going to kind of, put out some questions that are probably going to be really hard for you guys to answer. Hopefully they're going to be really hard to answer. Or hopefully they're going to make you think a little bit more. We're just going to kind of like, put this out there for anybody who's actually interested, that maybe it can help you, develop, I don't know, your involvement in this community, or just, of course, to kind of suggest as a way to that like people, I want the people, I think this is really kind of a way to, ultimately help to define and, set the community that I would like, and ultimately, right, as or as people who watch my videos frequently know, that I want a community that is open to discuss anything whether with anybody, and they're going to do it in a friendly manner, regardless of whether or not you agree with that person or you disagree. So it doesn't matter what you think. I do not care what you think and what your opinions are, whether your, whatever your political affiliations are, whether you hate a group that I like or you don't. I just want us to be able to discuss it in a friendly and civil manner, as if we are friends. So let's become friends by answering this question. And the question for this one is that I want you guys to pick a song from the last week or two, or, however long really, that you absolutely loved. You find it very, very difficult to actually find anything bad to say about this song. And then I want you to name one thing that you didn't like about it and explain why you didn't like it. So for me, the song that I loved and I think could be, and the one thing I didn't like about it is the song Fingertip from G-Friend, Girlfriend, Yoja Chingu, whatever, you know what I mean. And the thing that I didn't like about that song, I love that song. I think it's a really, really great song, probably the best G-Friend song that they have released ever. And of course, it is one of the first song as a part of their evolution in look and in sound and style too, so that's also really cool. But the one thing that I don't like about Fingertip, at least at the time that I am recording this, or at the time that I wrote my little script and outline, is that I kind of think that until you listen to the song more frequently, that the chorus to Fingertip kind of lacks the impact that they did have with some of their previous songs. And the most notable song that they released previously that had the most impact on me when I first listened to it was Novelera. That's that chorus, as soon as I listened to it, for the first time, it was burned into my mind. I couldn't forget it because it was that good. It was that impactful on me as to, the way that it sounded. So to listen to Fingertip and to, not walk away with it immediately with the chorus ingrained into my mind and burned into my brain, it was really kind of, I don't know. It was a little bit different, of course, and was not really disappointing because the entire song was total quality. But, it was one thing maybe for this release that G-Friend could have done better, or that they, weren't as good as they were in the past. So that's the one song that I love that's been released recently, and that is one thing that I don't like about it, and I think that could have made it, that if they had improved it, and which will make it better. So I want to know which your guys, like I said, the answer to the community building question here, which is to pick your favorite song from the last couple of weeks that you absolutely love and you cannot find anything wrong with it, and tell me one thing you didn't like about it, and how, and explain why you have picked that. So that is going to be it for the community for the community building. I just want to wrap it up and throw in a quick reminder here for those of you who have made it this far that I am broadcasting this live onto my Twitter account here to get a little bit of audience engagement into the recording of this show. So if there's anybody here who is watching, there is nobody watching currently, but hopefully if you are watching this on YouTube currently, then you can go follow me on Twitter and you can, get involved the next time that I do this. And so that so you can mark it down in your calendar and you can be available every single time that, I do this and go live. I try and do these videos every single week. Every single Sunday is when I record them at around between 5 p.m. to 6 p.m. Eastern time. I'm a little late today, but that is the plan. So we're going to finish it off. We're going to finish the show off with a little quick overview or whatever of the last week in songs. So first off, we got the song from Luna 1/3, which is of course the first third of the members of the group Luna, who's going to be debuting towards the end of the year, I do believe, as a full 12-member girl group. That's just way too big if you ask me. But either way, their pre-debut songs that they've been releasing one by one have been really, really, really good. I mean, even if their song from January was not my favorite song or style of music and genre, that song was really, really good. But the most recent song that they released was Love and Live, and honestly, just looking at the song really briefly, of course, this song is a super simple kind of song. It's the perfect kind of thing fit for spring. And comparing it to the other songs that they've released, this is my least favorite song from them, and I think that it is the least interesting one that they have released of all the ones that I've heard so far. So that's a little bit disappointing with Luna 1/3, but the song is still pretty good. I definitely did enjoy it, and I'm definitely looking forward to the next one that's going to come out. Hopefully next month, because I don't think that they actually made a release during February like they should have. So that kind of sucks. But moving from Luna 1/3, we got to talk about GOT7 Never Ever, and this one is hands down my favorite promo track from GOT7. It's really, really great. Love the song, the way the song flows and feels to it as well, or the flow and the feel of the song. I really, really love it. I talked about it in my reaction video, of course. I talked about it a little bit during my album review. And I mean, it's just a really good song to promote a relatively good album. I talked about what I liked and didn't like about that album, of course, in my album review. So if you haven't watched that, you definitely should. So moving from GOT7, we got Highlights, the pre-debut song for that group called It's Still Beautiful, which they just released their, the actual legit promo or, title track, I guess, for their new album, which I just recorded a video for before hitting the record button for this. And It's Still Beautiful is a really, really good song. It's a nice ballad song. And of course, ballad songs aren't the kind of music that gets me hyped. It's not really the thing that is going to, get me super duper like hyped up, full of energy for their debut song. But it definitely does have me really, really interested. Of course, it did have me really, really interested. And I mean, overall, I was super stoked to get into their song that they released today, and that I've already recorded a video for. And I mean, it was awesome. I mean, it still felt like Beast to me, as far as like my familiarity with their ballad tracks and stuff like that. It still felt like Beast, and that was a thing that had gotten me really, really interested and excited for their upcoming release. Moving from Highlight, we got MVP and the song Take It. This is the debut for this group from a teeny tiny company. I don't know the name of it, unfortunately, but this is one of the more impressive debut songs from a boy group in recent history. And it's just good. The one thing, the highlight of this song is the backbeat of the song feels a little like retro 80s or 90s, synth pop or something like that. There was someone in the comments who had mentioned it kind of reminds them a little bit of some Michael Jackson kind of music. And I gotta say, when you bring up the name Michael Jackson, it does actually sound like that kind of style of music. Not specifically Michael Jackson, but really just like the influence of the sound of the music that, was included in a lot of his music. So that is something interesting. And I don't know, maybe hearing Michael Jackson and MVP together has gotten your interest, because I think that it would potentially, if people who actually really care about music or familiar with Michael Jackson, that would probably get their attention. So we're gonna finish it off. The last song of the week that I listened to from was it Chalu, Kisum, and Yeren, called Spring Again. It's a super, super simple, super cute song. It's, once again, similar to 1/3, it's a really awesome song for spring. Kisum brings a really interesting kind of feel with her rap lines in this song as well. I think it's nice. Her participation in this song is it brings a different feel and is a change of pace, of course, from what the other two members are bringing as far as the sung vocals, and that is, really nice. Ultimately, though, it's a really nice one-off collab song, but it's not really super amazing, so I'm not really saying that we should have a sequel or a follow-up to it, because I'm not against it, of course, but this one hasn't really done anything to, give me the idea or the desire to have more. So that is it. That is all that I've got. We've made it through all the way through all of the different segments and all of the things that I wanted to talk about and recap this week. Just another reminder, because we're going to do this every once in a while, of course, just to put it in your mind, that maybe you should follow me on Twitter so that you can be a part of the live audience that is not watching me currently on Twitter, so that you guys can get involved and discuss. We can have a little chit chat, get some audience engagement in on this video here. So if you're following me on YouTube and you're not following me on Twitter, you probably should, so you can, engage with me live as I record this. And then our conversation can be preserved on YouTube for all time. How awesome would that be? Anyway, that's going to be it for this episode of the ROK Weekly Review. If this is your first time here, I don't know how you found this, to be completely honest, because these videos don't really rank that well in search normally, but welcome. And if you are not subscribed already, then click that subscribe button so you can join the community and, of course, become a part of the discussion at some point in the future on one of my upcoming videos. So that is going to be it for this video. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I will see you all next time.